let you go. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Football pundits around the world. It's your boy Adam here, live on Cal Sports Football, bringing you Premier League action today with Crystal Palace taking on Manchester United. Now, what are our predictions for today, ladies and gentlemen? Are Crystal Palace going to come away with a victory, or Manchester United going to carry on with their record that they're currently on? Welcome, welcome, welcome to you all, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. How are we doing? How are we doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. What the hell's going on here? Exit. Hello? 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 What's going on? What's going on? Oh, there we go. We're back. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Exit on that. Let's put this up here. Crystal Palace taking on Manchester United. And the big news, ladies and gentlemen, is that Manchester United are playing Casemiro, who is a yellow card away from a ban when we play Arsenal later on this weekend. Who comes out on top, ladies and gentlemen? It's funny with the Premier League midweek football. They put the Manchester United a game in hand. This is the Manchester United's game in hand. In between City and Arsenal. But it is what it is. You have to go out and win every single game you want to play. You have to try and go for it. See what happens. Whoa, burnt my tongue there. Burnt my tongue there. How are we all doing? How are we all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Get ready here for Premier League action, ladies and gentlemen. For Premier League action. How are we all doing? Are we ready for Crystal Palace to take on Manchester United? Crystal Palace, who sit in the second half of the table, so not bad. Not bad. They sit 12th. A victory today pushes them, well, cements them in 12th. They'll go level with Villa, but Villa have a better goal difference. But then they'll be, wow, interesting. 19, 18. Man City play on Thursday. So on Thursday, 19. So what's Arsenal's game in hand? 18. If United played 19, which is Arsenal's game in hand? Arsenal, Brighton, Liverpool, Palace, Leeds United. So we know Tottenham City's game in hand is against Tottenham. But then they've played 19, 20. 19. That's questionable. That's questionable. Ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea what is going on there. I have no idea what is going on there. Palace haven't won a top half team this season. Interesting. Interesting. Kick off here, ladies and gentlemen, at Sellers Park in the next couple of minutes. How are we all doing? What do we think? Are Manchester United gonna pull off a performance today? We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. You know what I'm gonna do? Let's transition over to the match for you guys. So you have that there. You can see the teams that are gonna be coming out today for Manchester United and Crystal Palace. And the big thing there is the fact that Wout Weghorst starts for Manchester United. The new signing on loan from Burnley for 2.5 million, I think it was, comes out for Manchester United today. Marcus Rashford moves out wide. Is there anything else to look at? How delayed is that? That's quite delayed there. Maybe I need to refresh this because that's quite delayed there. Do 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 do. Manchester United win today moves them into second place on 41 points. But Arsenal do have a game in hand. So who's Arsenal's game in hand? Who's Arsenal's game in hand? I know what will tell us. The Premier League app. The Premier League app. That will tell us who's to be confirmed. Arsenal Everton is their game in hand. United Leeds to be confirmed. Chelsea Liverpool still to be confirmed. Interesting. Interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting. Very interesting. How are we all doing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Football pundits around the world. It's your boy Adam here live on Car Sports Football. We have Premier League action for you guys. It is Crystal Palace taking on Manchester United at Sellers Park. Do Manchester United come out in the corner here? We'll have to wait and see. Casemiro on a yellow card already. Crystal Palace have lost 4 of their last 5 Premier League games. Manchester United have won 5 games in their last 9 in all competitions. Crystal Palace have lost 2 Premier League home games by a 7-0 aggregate, yet to drop a point from winning position this season. And Crystal Palace have won 12 points from losing position this season. Manchester United take on Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park, ladies and gentlemen. Marcus Rashford, a man on a mission. A man on a mission, ladies and gentlemen. Wout Weghorst leads the line for Manchester United. 6'6", is he? At the back? Let's give you the team news. Crystal Palace, Guaita in goal. Nathaniel Klein, Chris Richards, Mark Gahey, and Tyreek Mitchell. The back line. Elise Hughes, Decore, and Zaha, the midfield 4. Mateta and Eduardo leading the line here. Ward, Milivojevic, Tompkins, Ayew, Eze, Schlupp, Riedewald, and Eze all on the bench. Manchester United on the other hand, David De Gea in goal. Luke Shaw, Varane, Martinez and Wan-Bissaka, Casemiro and Christian Eriksen in the midfield too. Anthony, Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford playing out wide. And the new man, Wout Weghorst, to start the line, ladies and gentlemen. What a shocking, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? What a shocking Photoshop that is. Chris Richards, first Premier League start here for Crystal Palace, playing centre back today against Manchester United. So he'll be up alongside Marcus Rashford at a few opportunities. And obviously Val Weghorst playing through the middle. Look at the size difference between him and Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw comes up to his chest. Playing the number 27 today. Val Weghorst there having a word with Anthony. He's got a point to prove. Didn't play well for Burnley. Apparently not the right fit for Burnley. So he's got a point to prove today. Won last 9 games, Erik ten Hag, Manchester United's best run since 2017, ladies and gentlemen. Erik ten Hag at Sellers Park. Patrick Vieira, they'll be happy where they are right now, mid-table. Obviously, they want to push higher up the table, but 12th is a good place for them. Just don't want to get closer to the bottom. They want to stay in that middle part. Crystal Palace, Manchester United shooting from right to left. Crystal Palace at home shooting from left to right in their famous blue and red kit. Manchester United in their white kit today, their away kit. Let's see who comes out today, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Edouard to start the game here. Wouldn't be surprised if it goes to a 4-2-3-1 for Crystal Palace. Doucouré and Hughes playing in front of the defense with Elise, Mateta and Zaha up top. Here we go, Richards. Clears the ball down the line. Edouard jumps up ahead of Casemiro. It's cleared away by Varane and it comes out wide here by Nathaniel Klein. And he'll hit that out for a Manchester United throwing here on the right side. Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United nil here on Cat Sports Football. Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing? Welcome to the stream. Luke Shaw to take the throw in. And he goes backwards to Rafael Varane here on the right side. Varane holding onto the ball on the edge of the Manchester United box, bringing the ball forward. Mateta goes over to cover. Wan-Bissaka gets away from Zaha. Feeds it into Anthony. Anthony nearly loses it to Hughes. But Eriksen does well to go. Sorry, Bruno finds Aaron Wan-Bissaka down that right side. Holds onto it. Goes into Anthony. Anthony lays it back to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Tries to go around the outside of Tyreek Mitchell. Ball pointed box and is headed away by Gay. Wan-Bissaka will try and keep it alive. But Hughes will clear it away. And Varane is all over Mateta. Hughes is there first. But it falls out wide to Casemiro. Puts the ball over the top towards Weghorst. He tries to win a header, but it falls to Elise. And Wan-Bissaka wins the ball, and it falls to Anthony. Here we go with Casemiro into Eriksen. Eriksen holds onto the ball, lays it into the pass to Bruno Fernandes, who goes out wide to Anthony. Wan-Bissaka makes a run in behind. He holds onto it, Anthony. Goes short to Bruno. Back to Anthony. Down that right-hand side. Zaha applying a bit of pressure. Wan-Bissaka into Bruno. It tries to feed in behind to Christian Eriksen. But it comes off the Crystal Palace man and it goes out for a throwing here down that right side for Manchester United. Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Anthony takes on the turn. But he can't get the pass off and Crystal Palace win the ball back. Hughes clears the ball down the line, but Varane wins it on the halfway line. Out to the left-hand side, headed away by Nathaniel Klein. Elise into the path of Christian Eriksen. Shaw, 1-2 with Eriksen, goes backwards to Martinez on the halfway line. World Cup winner Lisandro Martinez. Out to the left-hand side towards Shaw. Shaw tries to feed in behind to Rashford, but it's cleared away by Nathaniel Klein, and he'll come out to Casemiro. Heads into the path of Martinez, and it's Varane now with the ball. Manchester United have come out with the possession of the ball so far in this game. Rafael Varane goes out wide to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Varane holds onto the ball here. Feeds it out wide there towards Wout Weghorst. Plays a 1-2 with Wan-Bissaka. But the referee's going to pull it back here for a throwing down the left-hand side for Crystal Palace. 2 minutes into the game, Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 0. Here on Couch Sports Football. How are we doing? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Where are we all from and who do we support? Wan-Bissaka hits it out for another throwing down that left-hand side. Tyreek Mitchell coming over to take the throwing. Tyreek Mitchell with a long throw-in. Headed away. It falls to Casemiro. Shaw gets there. Can't get there ahead of Elise. Edouard does find Doucouré down the shine side, but his touch is heavy. And he allows Manchester United to win the ball back with Rashford. Bruno into Eriksen. Out backwards to Bruno here down the left-hand side. Wout Weghorst in the middle, but he leaves it. And Guehi, he clears it. But Martinez wins the ball back. Rafael Varane now with the ball here on the shine side. Goes all the way back to the keeper here. David De Gea into Martinez on the shine side. 1-2 with Eriksen. Martinez out wide to Luke Shaw here. Down the left-hand side, playing left back today. Malacia's on the bench. Varane now with the ball. Bringing the ball forward here for Manchester United. Goes back into the path of Casemiro. Casemiro on the centre circle into Martinez. Martinez on the side side. Bringing the ball forward here into the Crystal Palace half. Out to the left-hand side towards Bruno Fernandes. Luke Shaw makes a run off the ball, but it's over the top towards Rashford and it's cleared away by Doucouré. Crystal Palace managed to find a way to Matete, but it's intercepted there by Martinez, and he makes his way out to Anthony, who goes back to Wan-Bissaka. Back to Anthony, but Tyreek Mitchell is there. And he clears it out for a Manchester United throwing here on the right side. Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 0 at Sellers half. 4.5 minutes played, ladies and gentlemen. Martinez into Varane. Varane bringing it into the Crystal Palace half to Anthony. Anthony loses the ball. Zaha comes away with it, but Manchester United managed to win it back, but it goes out for a throwing here for Crystal Palace on the halfway line. Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Tyreek Mitchell steps over to take the throwing. Long throwing in towards Zaha, but Wan-Bissaka's there. Varane will just clear it down the line. Rashford brings the ball under control here down the right side. Hughes is all over him, and he does well to win the ball. Lays it into Doucouré in the middle. Elise into Doucouré. Beautiful pass into Matete. Tries to feed it in behind to Edouard. But Varane is there. And he'll just clear it down the line. Intercepted high up pitch by Tyreek Mitchell. Falls to Zaha, but he can't get away from Casemiro. Zaha wins the ball back and goes backwards to Nathaniel Klein. Into Elise. Zaha. Back to Elise. Into Varane. And it falls to Eriksen. Eriksen has time to turn. And he finds Anthony. Anthony into Casemiro. Casemiro out to the left-hand side towards Bruno. Bruno holds onto the ball here. But it's intercepted there by Nathaniel Klein having the pitch. Bruno wins it back. And it's Luke Shaw on the ball on the halfway line. Bringing it forward. Switches it out wide to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. But Zaha's there to win it. And he finds Hughes, who brings the ball forward here. Out to the left-hand side towards Zaha. 1-on-1 against Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Former Crystal Palace man. Hughes tries to feed him behind to Elise. But it's ball into the boxes to Bruno Fernandes. Oh, and he nearly loses the ball there to Elise. But he manages to win it back. Shaw now with the ball here on... Eriksen now with the ball on the shine side. He switches it over the top. But he falls to the ground. And it goes all the way back to the keeper, Guaita here. Guaita into Gay. Doucouré now on this ball. Out to the halfway line towards Klein. Bringing it into the Manchester United half. 6 minutes into the game. Crystal Palace now hold on to it. Elise. Plays a 1-2 with Edouard, but it's intercepted there by Manchester United. Rashford into Bruno. Bruno into Weghorst. In behind here to Rashford. Rashford's 1-on-1 with the keeper. Gay, he's tracking back. Rashford, couple of step overs. Goes down the left. And it's defended well, but Rashford just got hold on to it. And it comes out to Elise down his left-hand side. Maybe he had a better opportunity there, Rashford, in the first 7 minutes to find a man instead of going for goal. Elise now with the ball down his left-hand side. Goes all the way back to Guaita. And he'll clear it down the line. And Martinez wins the header, but the referee's going to pull it back for a free kick. Just a push in the back of Edouard. Sorry, Mateta. And Crystal Palace will get a free kick on the halfway line. Crystal Palace and Manchester United 0 here. Crystal Palace to restart the game here with Decore. Out to the right side towards Elise. Elise bringing the ball forward here down the right side. Rashford's tracking back. And he gets away from Rashford. Left foot into the box, but it's headed away by Martinez. And he'll come back out to Elise. And he'll go out for a Crystal Palace throwing here down the right side. Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 0 here on Cal Sports Football. How are we all doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the stream. Where are we all from and who do we support? Are we Crystal Palace fans? Are we Manchester United fans? Or are we just fans of football? Let me know in the chat. Nathaniel Klein into Edouard. Back to Klein. Elise intercepted there by Rashford. And Casemiro clears it down the line. Falls to Bruno. And he goes out wide here to Luke Shaw. Shaw in towards Weghorst. Finds Bruno. Bruno gets away from the defender. And he drives with the ball down the left-hand side. Richards is tracking back. So is Klein. He puts the ball into the rush towards Anthony. And Guaita as well to get the ball. Hughes is there. They manage to scramble it away. Falls to Zaha. Zaha holds onto it. Into Nathaniel Klein on the edge of his own box. Goes short into Edouard, but it's intercepted there by Manchester United. But Rashford's pass is complacent. And it allows Crystal Palace to clear the ball down the line. Mateta down the halfway line. Being held up by Varane and Martinez. And it goes out for a Crystal Palace throwing. Weghorst there with a good link-up play in the first 9 minutes of the game. How are we all doing? Crystal Palace now to restart the game on the 9th minute. Into the middle finds Edouard, backwards to Decore. Decore returns it back to Edouard, who has time to turn. Lays it into the path of Zaha. Tries the back heel, but it comes off the Manchester United defender and it comes back to Hughes. Zaha puts the ball in behind to Edouard on that left-hand side. Edouard being held up by Varane into Hughes. Hughes back to Edouard, but it's behind him. And it allows Manchester United to win the ball back with Bruno. And it's Anthony who puts his heads up and he drives with the ball here. Backwards to Bruno. Bruno on the centre circle. Anthony Rashford who's in behind here. 1-on-1 with the keeper. And the offside flag goes up here. 10 minutes into the game. Crystal Palace to restart the game here. Yeah, they were both offside. Rashford and Weghorst. 10 minutes into the game. Richards into Gay on this left-hand side. Bringing the ball forward here for Crystal Palace. Goes backwards to the keeper, Guaita. 10 minutes into the game. Goes short to Richards. Richards on the edge of his own box. Backwards to Guaita. He'll just clear it down the line. Out to that left-hand side towards Tyreek Mitchell, who brings the ball under control. He brings the ball into the Manchester United half. Goes short to Zaha. Zaha returns it back to Decore on the centre circle. He gets away from Weghorst. Brings it into the Manchester United half. Tries to feed it in behind to Mateta. But it's over here. He can't take in his stride and it goes all the way back to David De Gea. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0 here at the Sellers Park. Manchester United to restart the game with Rafael Varane. Plays a 1-2 with Wan-Bissaka. And he lays it into the path of Martinez. Martinez on the ball here on the right side. Out to the left side towards Luke Shaw on the halfway line. Shaw holds onto the ball here. And returns it back to Martinez. Manchester United just building from the back. Varane now on the centre circle. Bringing it forward out wide to Wan-Bissaka on the halfway line. Wan-Bissaka goes backwards to Varane in the Manchester United half. Bringing it forward slowly into the Crystal Palace half. But there's no one to pass to. So he squares it to Martinez on the centre circle. Martinez has Eriksen in the centre circle, but he goes out wide to Varane on that right side. Varane holds onto the ball on the halfway line, looking for some movement, but no one's making the run in behind, and it allows Crystal Palace to win the ball with Veghos. Sorry, with Guaita, and he'll just clear it down the line. Wan-Bissaka wins the head and he finds Casemiro. Casemiro takes him the turn. Veghos can't get there ahead of Gay. Casemiro leaves it. Gehi on the centre circle. Inside pass to Nathaniel Klein. Bringing the ball forward into the Crystal Palace. Sorry, into the Manchester United half. Luke Shaw's coming over to cover. Finds Elise on the edge of the box here on that right side. Christian Eriksen and Bruno are there. And it goes out for a Crystal Palace throwing here down the right side. Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United nil. Klein to take the throwing. Into Edward. Edward back to Elise. Tries to return it back to Edward, but Shaw is there. Manchester United win the ball back. Veghos tries to flick it on, but Richards wins it. Decore brings the ball under control and goes backwards to Klein on the halfway line. Out to the right side towards Elise. Being held up by Shaw. And he makes his way back to Richards. And Richards goes all the way back to Guaita here. 13 minutes played. Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United nil. Gay on the ball here on this left-hand side. In towards Mitchell. Mitchell going around the outside of Anthony, but he holds the ball up here in the Manchester United half. Goes back to Hughes. And Hughes goes back to Gay. Gay into the middle finds Zaha, who has time to turn to bring the ball into the Manchester United half. Being held up there by Anthony. Squares it into Decore on the centre circle. Into Edward. Back to Klein. Klein now bring the ball forward. Out here to Elise. One-on-one against Luke Shaw. Left foot into the box. Back post, but it's over hit. Goes out for a goal kick here on the right side for Manchester United. 14 minutes played. Crystal Palace and Manchester United. How are we all doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Martinez. Back to Varane here. Varane now bringing the ball forward here for Manchester United. Goes short to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka holds onto it here. Goes all the way back to David here. Manchester United slowing their build-up so far. Martinez bringing the ball forward here. Gets away from Elise. Brings it into the Crystal Palace half. Goes short to Eriksen. Eriksen lays it into Rashford. Back to Eriksen. And Eriksen goes back to Martinez and the halfway line. Bringing it forward out to the left-hand side towards Christian Eriksen. Returns it back to Varane on the centre circle. Varane who has time to turn. And goes backwards to Varane on the centre circle. Sorry, Martinez. Martinez sees a long ball over the top by towards Bruno Fernandes. It's cleared away by Mitchell. Only into the path of Veghos, who goes backwards to Casemiro. Lays it into the path of Eriksen, who has time to turn on the edge of the box. Out to the left-hand side towards Luke Shaw. He's got Rashford in the middle. He puts it back post towards Anthony and is cleared away. Casemiro will keep it alive. Anthony in the box. Finds Wan-Bissaka, goes around the outside of Zaha, puts the ball into the box. It comes out to Luke Shaw. He'll drill the shot, but it's wide. It's a goal kick here on this left-hand side for Crystal Palace. "15 minutes into the game. Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United nil. Goal kick for Crystal Palace. Guaita plays a 1-2 with Gay. And then clears it down the line into the path of Edward. Sorry, Mateta. Mateta gets ahead of Martinez. It comes out wide here towards Elise. Elise on the halfway line. But Martinez has gone down, holding his face. And he is bleeding there, Martinez. I think he's cut his eyelid there. Sorry, eyebrow. I think he's just cut his eyebrow there. The elbow does come out against Martinez. Martinez there now getting some treatment here. Ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, I will be back tomorrow where we have Manchester City taking on Tottenham in the Premier League. It is tomorrow, right? It is tomorrow, right? Let's have a look. Yeah, in the Premier League. And then we'll be back on Saturday morning for Liverpool against Chelsea. Sunday afternoon for Arsenal against Manchester United. Monday, Fulham, Tottenham. Wow, that's a good one. Tuesday, anything on Tuesday? FA Cup semi-final, Southampton against Newcastle. Wednesday, Manchester United against Nottingham Forest. Nothing on Thursday. Manchester City against Arsenal on Friday. Saturday, nothing at midday. Manchester United play Reading at 8 o'clock in the evening. Don't really care about that one. Sunday, Brighton against Liverpool. That's a good one, isn't it? Brighton against Liverpool. Nothing on the Monday. Tuesday again, semi-finals. We got a few good games coming up. We have a few good games. Crystal Palace against Manchester United here, ladies and gentlemen. The play has stopped for a bit of treatment here for Martinez. Manchester United will restart the game here. Casemiro there just having a word with the ref. It was an elbow in the head against Martinez. Manchester United will. Stuart Atwell, who was the referee against Manchester City, that allowed Rashford to get that goal where he was clearly offside. Bruno Fernandes there, just having a word with Wout Weghorst. Let him know what he wants from him. We don't want to go Cineworld. Who goes Cineworld? So Argentinian there now got back up on his feet. Right, Crystal Palace restart the game here on the 19th minute. Long ball over top by Gay into the path of Zaha, but Wan-Bissaka's there to cover. And he'll get the ball here on the shine side. Lays it into the path of Bruno. Back to Wan-Bissaka. Casemiro out wide to Anthony on the halfway line. Bring the ball forward. Rashford is ahead of him. Weghorst drifts outside of the box. Anthony holds the ball up. Wan-Bissaka makes a run in behind. He goes backwards to Bruno. And Bruno whips the ball into the box, but it's headed away by Richards. And Gay will just clear it down the line. Zaha can't keep it in. Well, he does keep it in play. Casemiro wins the header, but who uses that? And it falls to Zaha down that left-hand side. Lays it into the odd one. Over the top to Mendy. Mendy in towards Elise, but Luke Shaw is there to win the header. Casemiro gets the head of Zaha, but Hughes brings down Bruno. The referee's going to pull it back here from Manchester United, throwing here on the shine side. It is Will Hughes, right? Yeah, Will Hughes. Bruno Fernandes now. Varane. Backwards to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka lays it into the path of Martinez. Martinez on the shot side, bringing the ball forward here for Manchester United. Out to the left-hand side towards Luke Shaw on the halfway line. Shaw lays it into Eriksen on the halfway line. Back to Martinez. Manchester United again slow in their build-up here. Out to the left-hand side towards Luke Shaw. Alicia comes off to cover. First time into Eriksen. Backwards to Casemiro. Into Luke Shaw down the left-hand side. And he goes backwards to Varane on the centre circle. Manchester United do well to get themselves out of danger. Varane now on the centre circle. Goes out wide to Wan-Bissaka. Anthony covers down that right side. Wan-Bissaka holds onto it. And goes backwards to Varane. Varane short to Martinez on the centre circle. Martinez now. Bringing the ball forward here. Goes short into Rashford. Rashford takes on the turn here. Can't get away from Hughes, and Hughes now brings the ball forward here. Casemiro comes over to cover, lays it into Matete, but not the same wavelength, and Martinez wins the ball back. Eriksen, Luke Shaw, back to Martinez, and Matete can't get the head of Varane, and it's David De Gea now on the ball. Martinez on the shine side. First time into Eriksen, who has time to turn, and he goes into Varane. Manchester United restart the game here with the 21st minute. Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United nil. And Wan-Bissaka down the right side. Gets away from Zaha. Casemiro with a long ball over the top towards Anthony. Can he get the head of Tyreek Mitchell? He does. Can he get the shot off? He does. but it just hits the side netting, and Antony there showing a thumbs up to Casemiro for getting that ball in behind. He got the ball, but he couldn't get the angle right, and it goes out for a goal kick here on the shine side for Crystal Palace. Guaita into Gate. Trying to play out from the back from their goal kicks, Crystal Palace. Mitchell over the top towards Mateta, but it's headed away by Varane. Casemiro into Wan-Bissaka. He gets away from a few Crystal Palace players and goes backwards to Martinez. Martinez first time into Luke Shaw down the right side. Luke Shaw holds the ball up here. Goes backwards to Martinez. Martinez into Christian Eriksen, who goes backwards to Varane. Varane into the path of Bruno. And Wan-Bissaka now on the shine side. Goes to Christian Eriksen on the centre circle. Back to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka bringing the ball into the Crystal Palace half. Tries to feed it out wide to Bruno. Zaha got a touch on it, but Manchester United managed to play out of the trap. And Casemiro tries to play Vegas in behind. But Gay is there, and Crystal Palace managed to clear it away. Wan-Bissaka wins the header on the halfway line. Into Bruno, but he can't control it, and it goes out for a Crystal Palace throwing. Down that left-hand side, Crystal Palace 0. Manchester United 0, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all doing? Flicked on there by Zaha. Varane into Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka to Casemiro, who goes backwards to Martinez. Varane into Martinez here on the shine side. Martinez holds the ball up in his own box. Goes short to De Gea. De Gea clears it out wide towards Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka brings the ball under control here on the shine side. He can't get away from Zaha. Edouard is there. He does well to hold the ball up, and it goes out for a Crystal Palace throwing down that left-hand side. 24 minutes played. Crystal Palace throwing. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0 here with Richards on the left-hand side. Goes all the way back to Guaita. Guaita on the penalty spot. Short to Richards. Richards on this left-hand side. To Klein. Klein on the touchline. Clears the ball down the line into the path of Zaha, who does well to catch it out of the sky. But Shaw is there. And it goes out for a Manchester United throwing. Shaw into Martinez. Martinez turns. Out wide here towards Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw now has time to bring the ball forward here for Manchester United into the Crystal Palace half. Looks like Zaha and Elise have switched sides. Ball put in behind, but Hughes is there to cover. And he'll come away with the ball here. And he gets away from Bruno Fernandes. Out to the right side towards Zaha. But Shaw's there. And he finds Christian Eriksen. Crystal Palace there losing possession a bit too quickly here at Sellers Park. Manchester United are comfortable with the ball with Martinez. Tries to feed in behind to Vegas. But Richards is there. He clears it away. He was expecting the keeper to come out. But Tyreek Mitchell can't go out. And it goes out for a Manchester United throwing here on the right side. 25 minutes played. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Tyreek Mitchell there. Having a word with Antony. Antony not happy with being shrugged off the ball when they're down the touchline. Antony there just having a word with him. There's no need. He's telling everyone to push away. He tells Edouard to walk away as well. There the referee's had the word. It was going out of play and it's just thrown to the ground by Tyreek Mitchell. Manchester United to restart the game here down that right side. Antony. Backwards to Wan-Bissaka. Good flick. Wan-Bissaka whips the ball into the box. Vegas can't get there. Header. Gay is cleared away. Alicia will flick it into the pass of Antony. And it's Martinez who just puts it back into the box. Nathaniel Klein battling out against Rashford. And it goes out for a Manchester United throwing deep down the left-hand side. Manchester United 0. Crystal Palace 0 in the 26th minute, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Luke Shaw now to take the throwing here down the shine side. Shaw goes all the way back to Varane on the halfway line. Varane Lays it into Martinez. Martinez goes backwards to Varane in the Manchester United half. And he goes short to Casemiro here on the right side. Casemiro on the centre circle. Switches the ball over the top to the left hand side towards Luke Shaw. It's headed away by Klein. Zaha gets there ahead of Rashford, but he can't get there ahead of Eriksen. But at least it does well. It's cleared away. But it's over here. And Mateta's not going to chase this down. But Martinez will. Manchester United have the ball here with Rafael Varane on the right hand side. Varane into the path of Casemiro on the centre circle. Back heel towards Weghorst, but it's cleared away by Richards. The referee's going to pull it back here for a free kick for Crystal Palace. Neither keeper doing anything so far in this game in terms of having to make a save. All the shots have been off target, but Manchester United win the ball back here with Antony on that right side. He holds the play up here. Bruno, but he's not on the same wavelength. And Crystal Palace will restart the game here from the goal kick. Antony and Bruno not happy with each other there. Antony and Bruno not getting along with each other here. Guaita goes short to Richards. Richards clears the ball down the line. Shaw flicks it into the path of Varane. And Varane will just clear it down the line. Decore into Casemiro. Casemiro tries to go out wide to Antony. But it's intercepted and Richards goes all the way back to the keeper here. And Guaita will just clear it down the line. Casemiro wins the header. But Richards is there to clear it away. Richards is growing into this game. 29 minutes played. Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United nil. Wan-Bissaka now to take the throwing here on the touchline. Bruno into Antony. Antony tries to return the pass, but it comes off the Crystal Palace player and it goes out for a Manchester United throwing on the halfway line. Antony leaves it to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka into Weghorst, backwards to Antony. Cleared away by Crystal Palace, but Bruno wins the ball back. Casemiro goes back to Martinez. Martinez on the halfway line. Out to this left-hand side, but it's intercepted there by Decore. Manchester United win the ball back. And Luke Shaw gets a free kick here. Rashford. Backwards to Luke Shaw here on this left-hand side. Luke Shaw into Eriksen. Eriksen has time to turn to find Bruno. Returns it back to Eriksen. Back to Bruno. Bruno out to this left-hand side towards Luke Shaw. Rashford's in the behind here if he can find him. Luke Shaw puts the ball into the box towards Wout Weghorst, who gets a header and it's over the bar. Wout Weghorst there gets his first header of the game. 30 minutes played. And he just couldn't get it on target. Guaita to restart the game here for Crystal Palace. 30 minutes played, just less than 15 of the 45 to go. Plus added time, Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United nil. Eriksen brings the ball under control from Guaita's goal kick. Weghorst can't bring the play down. Zaha on the halfway line finds Hughes. Hughes into Mateta, backwards to Edouard, but Wan-Bissaka's there. And Antony will find him on this right side in the Crystal Palace half. Can Manchester United counter here? And Wan-Bissaka down that right side. Edouard is tracking back, lays it into Rashford. Rashford in the box, gets away from Gay, but he runs into the path of Tyreek Mitchell. And he'll clear that out for a throwing for Manchester United here on that right side. Varane to start the game back. Martinez on the halfway line goes into Eriksen on the centre circle. Eriksen has time to turn, but he goes back to Varane on that right side. Varane has Antony ahead of him, but he goes backwards to Martinez. Martinez here on the centre circle, out to the left-hand side towards Christian Eriksen. Eriksen bringing it into the Crystal Palace half. But again, there's no movement ahead of him. He goes backwards to Martinez. Martinez on the centre circle. Out to the left-hand side towards Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw in behind towards Rashford, who leaves it for Weghorst. Weghorst being held up by Gay. Goes backwards to Bruno. Casemiro. Casemiro right foot shot is blocked by Hughes. Mateta will bring the ball under control and try and feed it behind towards Zaha. Zaha gets away from Martinez, but miscontrols the ball and Shaw brings him down. And that's going to be a free kick for Crystal Palace here on the 32nd minute. Just miscontrols it, Zaha. And Crystal Palace get a free kick here down the right side. Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United nil, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing? Welcome to the stream. Here we go, the free kick down the right side. Manchester United will have to defend this. Alicia will leave it to Klein. Alicia whips the ball into the box towards the back post. Edouard is there. And Casemiro wins the header. Mateta will keep it alive, but Weghorst will clear it away. Rashford there. Battling it out against Richards. Richards keeps it alive. But Gay can't get there, and it falls to Rashford. He lays it into the path of Weghorst, but it's intercepted. It falls to Varane. Casemiro has time to turn, and he'll just slow the game down, and Martinez will restart the play for Manchester United. Christian Eriksen. Backwards to Varane, goes out wide to Aaron Wan-Bissaka on the halfway line. Has time to turn and bring the ball forward here for Manchester United. Squares it into the path of Rashford. Rashford goes backwards to Casemiro on the centre circle. And he goes backwards to Martinez. Martinez into Bruno. Bruno has time to turn right foot. Shot wide. Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United nil, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Guaita restarts the game here. Crystal Palace with a long ball over the top. Martinez wins the header, but Alicia is there. Martinez wins the second header. Doucouré brings the ball under control here. Goes backwards to Nathaniel Klein, but it's behind him. Goes out for Manchester United throwing here in the Crystal Palace half. 34 minutes played. Rashford into Eriksen. Eriksen lays it into the path of Casemiro on the centre circle. Out wide to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Anthony's ahead of him. Edouard's coming back to defend. Wan-Bissaka puts the ball into the box in towards Bruno. Bruno wins the header, but it's cleared away by Doucouré. And it'll come back to Varane on the halfway line. Manchester United players all in the final third of the Crystal Palace half. Martinez on the halfway line. Into Shaw on the centre circle. Back to Martinez. Goes out wide to Varane on the centre circle. Varane into the path of and Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka on the halfway line goes backwards to Martinez. And Martinez brings the ball forward into the Crystal Palace half. Out to the left-hand side towards Christian Eriksen on the halfway line. Eriksen lays it into the path of Rashford down the left-hand side. Rashford holding the ball up here. Backwards to Eriksen. Eriksen has Casemiro square, but he goes backwards to Varane. Varane to Varane. Martinez into Varane on the centre circle. Varane now on the ball. Backwards to Martinez on the kickoff spot. Out to Christian Eriksen on the left-hand side. And Eriksen goes backwards to Martinez. Crystal Palace forcing Manchester United to go backwards. Varane now on the ball here on the right side. Bringing the ball forward into the Crystal Palace half. Wan-Bissaka to his right and he finds him. Wan-Bissaka holds the ball up. Edouard comes over to cover. And he goes backwards to Varane. Varane lays it into the path of Weghorst. Anthony into Bruno on the edge of the box here. Casemiro's brought down there. The referee carries on with Doucouré. Out wide here towards Zaha. One-on-one against Christian Eriksen. Tries to go around the outside of Christian Eriksen. But Christian Eriksen does well. And Manchester United win the ball back with Martinez. Christian Eriksen there. Showing his mental capability when it comes to football. Anthony gets there ahead. Mitchell gets there ahead of Anthony. Finds Hughes. Hughes gets away from Anthony. But it's intercepted there by Anthony. And it falls to Casemiro. Anthony takes it on the turn. Goes out wide to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Returns it back to Anthony. Eriksen into Casemiro on the centre circle. 36-minute played. Crystal Palace and Manchester United. Martinez bringing the ball forward here. Out to the left-hand side towards Bruno. Bruno lays it into the path of Casemiro, but it's over him. And it allows Alicia to win the ball back. But Manchester United win it back with Casemiro. Anthony takes a shot from distance. But it's a tame effort and Guaita will gather it in his hands. Mistake at the back by Gay. Casemiro can't get there ahead of Elise. He finds Mateta. And it's intercepted there by Wan-Bissaka, but it falls to Decore on the centre circle. Out wide to Nathaniel Klein on the halfway line, who goes into Zaha. Zaha can't get away from Shaw. Klein tries to feed it back to him. Shaw wins the header. Rashford into Bruno. Bruno now on the right side, bringing the ball for the out to the center side towards Shaw. Shaw now bringing the ball into the Crystal Palace half. He goes into Rashford. Rashford back to Shaw. Shaw gets away from Decore. He's brought down. And it's going to be a free kick for Manchester United here on this left-hand side. 32 minutes played. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 1. "37 minutes played. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0. How are we all doing? Welcome to the stream. Manchester United have a free kick here on the 38th minute. Rashford steps over this, so does Christian Eriksen. Rashford puts the ball down and Christian Eriksen walks away. Looks like Marcus Rashford's going to step up to take this free kick here. 38th minute played. It's a long way out. It's a 30 yards out here. Rashford steps up to take it. Weghorst, Bruno and Eriksen make the second one for Manchester United. What is going to happen from this free kick? There's no way Rashford is scoring from here. He's another Ronaldo when it comes to free kicks. And it's wide. Crystal Palace restart the game here. Just have a look to see how wide he was. Yeah, he was well wide. Marcus Rashford's goals since the World Cup: 8. Yedder with 6. Benzema with 5. James Ward-Prowse with 5. Wow. Wow, James Ward-Prowse in the list. Long kick out by Guaita. Headed away by Casemiro. Weghorst can't get the head of Richards. Richards finds Elise, flicks it on, but he's headed away by Varane. Rashford brings the ball under control. Eriksen into Weghorst, but Gay's there. Out wide towards Zaha. Shaw's holding him up. He falls to Eriksen, and it's Casemiro now. Out to the left side towards Rashford, but Nathaniel Klein is there. Decore heads it into the path of Bruno. Bruno out to the left side, but Klein is there. And it's Gay. Decore on the halfway line. Feeds into Zaha. Out wide here towards Elise. Elise now bringing the ball forward here. Lays it into the path of Edward. Edward on the edge of the box here. Goes on the outside of Varane. And De Gea is forced to tip it over. David De Gea forced to tip it onto the crossbar, and it goes out for a corner here. Edward does well to get the ball out of his feet. Right foot, shot, and it's saved by De Gea. That's probably the closest we've been. In the 40th minute. Crystal Palace and Manchester United 0. Corner. Headed away by Casemiro. It's going to fall to Klein here down the right side. He goes around the outside. Whips the ball back into the box. Headed away by Luke Shaw. And it'll fall to Mitchell on the centre circle. Puts it back into that left-hand side. Bruno leaves it to Elise. Bruno wins it back. And Elise can't get it past Bruno. It goes at 4. A Crystal Palace throwing. 40th minute played. Less than 5 of their 45 to go. Plus added time. Crystal Palace 0. Manchester United 0. Edward got the ball out of his feet, but De Gea with a fingertip onto the crossbar. Edward. Back to Decore. First time into Zaha. Out wide heel towards Klein. Klein puts the ball in back post. Edward will try and keep it alive. Backwards to Zaha. Holds onto the ball here. But he can't get away from Bruno. Bruno clears it into the path of Anthony. And Anthony runs with the ball here. He's got Richards tracking back. Anthony holds onto it here. Tries to go around the outside. He gets away from him, Anthony. But Richards just puts a foot in there. And it goes out for a corner here for Manchester United down that right side. Richards does well not to get drawn into the run of Anthony. Just watches him ball for ball. Goes out for a corner here down the right side for Manchester United. 41 minutes played. Manchester United from the corner. Can they get a goal here in the first half? I don't think they've had a shot on target. Actually, no, I think Anthony has. Anthony with a tame effort. More like catching practice. Ball pointed box from the corner, headed up in by Richards. Veghorst is there, punched away by Guaita. Bruno tries to keep it alive. Veghorst is there, but Nathaniel Klein just manages to hoof it out. And Mateta's battling, sorry, Zaha's battling out against Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka does well. And Manchester United come away with the ball with Anthony. Shaw loses the ball there to Mateta. Hughes lays it into Decore on the centre circle. Decore out to the side side towards Elise. Elise, 1-on-1 against Martinez. Klein makes an overlapping run. He takes a shot and it's blocked. Wan-Bissaka will head it away. Edouard jumps up against Casemiro. Bruno can't get the clearance, but he manages to nick the ball off Hughes. Veghorst holds onto it here, and he goes back to Casemiro. Over the top towards Rashford. Rashford can't get there. Nathaniel Klein will, and he'll just clear it down the line. Only into the path of Luke Shaw. Manchester United now have the ball here down the right side, getting a bit end-to-end here towards the end of the first half. Ericsson finds Bruno on the centre circle. Out to the left-hand side towards Ericsson. Rashford's to his left. And he returns it back to Ericsson, who finds himself in the box on the edge to Bruno. Bruno, penalty spot. Bruno's not going to miss down there, ladies and gentlemen. Bruno Fernandes is not going to miss from there. Why? Because Ericsson gets the ball in the box. He lays it. Sees everyone make a run towards the near post. But Bruno is being Bruno. Stands on the edge of the box. Passes it into him. Bruno holds onto the ball. Takes it off his feet. And he curls it past the keeper. And makes it 1-0 here for Manchester United. Here we go with Crystal Palace now. From a goal behind. Having to come back into this game. Nathaniel Klein down the left-hand side. Into Zaha. Back to Elise. Elise on the halfway line, but it comes off. Sorry, he can't keep it in play. Goes up from Manchester United throwing here. 44 minutes played. Manchester United 10 games when scoring first, winning 10. Wout Weghorst tries to play it out wide towards Anthony, but it's headed away. Wan-Bissaka does get there. Bruno can't get there ahead of Mitchell, and it's Decore now. Gets away from Ericsson. First time in towards Zaha, but it's intercepted by Luke Shaw, and it falls to Bruno Fernandes. Plays a 1-2 with Casemiro and goes backwards to Martinez. Returns it back to Bruno. Martinez now. Out to the left-hand side towards Bruno. Bruno on the halfway line. 1-2 with Rashford. Into Shaw. But Shaw loses the ball to Zaha, and Zaha finds Decore. Decore first time into Matete. Matete being held up by Martinez. Casemiro does well to win the ball, but it falls to Zaha. Zaha into Matete on the halfway line over the top towards Elise. Elise takes it in his stride, but it falls to Shaw. And Varane will just clear it high up into the air. Casemiro gets there ahead of Hughes. Veghorst lays it into Ericsson. Returns it back to Veghorst, but he's behind him, and he allows Mitchell to win the ball back. Wan-Bissaka will just clear it high up into the air. Mitchell heads into the path of Hughes, and Hughes will clear it away. Varane now with the ball here. 3 minutes of added time, ladies and gentlemen. 46 minutes. 3 minutes of added time. Varane now with the ball. Backwards to De Gea. De Gea on the right side. Shaw. Goes backwards to De Gea. De Gea. Into Varane. Varane on the right side. Holds the ball up here. Into Veghorst on the halfway line. Backwards to Ericsson. Ericsson out to the left hand side towards Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes brings the ball under control here. 47th minute, 1 minute to go. Are they going to get two? Rashford holds onto the ball here down the left hand side. Tries to go around the outside of Decore, but Decore wins the ball back. And he lays it into Klein, who'll just clear it down the line. But Casemiro's there to win the ball. And he gets away from Matete into Valvecos. Bruno back heel to Rashford. Rashford down the left hand side. Casemiro's in behind here. But he goes backwards to Ericsson. Ericsson here. Into Martinez on the halfway line. Martinez out to Ericsson. Ericsson goes backwards to Martinez. Bruno all the way back to De Gea. And it's now Varane on the ball here on the right side. Varane bringing the ball forward into the Crystal Palace half. Lays it into Anthony. Anthony goes out wide to Varane. Varane can't get away from Hughes. And it falls to Alicia. Alicia goes backwards to Decore on the centre circle. Reaches down the ball. Out to that left hand side towards Mitchell. Mitchell on the halfway line. Is there enough time for the Crystal Palace to get an equaliser? Goes backwards to Hughes. Hughes can't get away from Bruno. And it goes out for a Crystal Palace throwing on the halfway line, but the referee's not going to allow him to take it. Manchester United going to the half-time 1-0 up here. Courtesy of that man, Bruno Fernandes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll see you for the second half, so stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Second half here on Cal Sports Football. Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United 1. That is Manchester United to restart the game here. Handball with Hughes in the Crystal Palace half. Manchester United to have a free kick here down the Shine side. My pants are falling down. What the hell's that all about? Bruno Fernandes now. Manchester United are called down. Can they double their lead? Out wide here to Wan-Bissaka, who gets ahead of Tyreek Mitchell. Gets himself into the box. Ball point there. Cleared away. It's going to fall to Bruno Fernandes, who takes a shot here. Comes off views. Anthony keeps it alive. Casemiro out wide here to Anthony down the Shine side. Anthony being held up there by Doucouré. Casemiro gets ahead of Elise, but his pass is into Edouard. He just clears it down the line, but it comes off the Manchester United player. And it goes out for throwing here down the Shine side for Crystal Palace. Edouard into Elise. Zaha. Backwards to Hughes. Out wide here to Richards. Richards in to Elise. Elise gets ahead of Martinez. Goes out wide to Klein. Returns it back to Elise. Elise down the right side. Being held up by Martinez. Tries to go around the outside. And he's pulled back there. And it's going to be a free kick here for it's a free kick here for Crystal Palace down the right side. Martinez there just using a bit of aggression. Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United 1 on the 47th minute. They have a free kick down that right hand side. In a crossing position. Elise steps over to take it here. Telling him to run near post here. Puts the ball in there. Headed away by Weghorst. And it comes out to Tyreek Mitchell on the centre circle. Out to the left side towards Hughes. Hughes gets away from Wan-Bissaka. Out to Zaha. Zaha puts the ball into the box. Back post. But Anthony's there and he heads it out. Elise gathers the ball here. One-on-one against Anthony. Tries to go around the outside. Cuts back in on his left foot. He goes backwards. But it's a misplaced pass and he makes his way all the way back to Guaita here on the right side. Guaita goes short to Gay. Mitchell. Edouard. Back to Hughes. Out to Mitchell down the left-hand side. Into Edouard. Being held up by Varane, who does well to just nick the ball. Bruno gets there. Casemiro lays it into Weghorst. Backwards to Casemiro. Over the top out to the right side towards Eriksen, but he's just a bit over here. And it goes out for a Crystal Palace throwing here on the 48th minute. Erik ten Hag there. Just having a word. Elise goes out wide to Zaha. Martinez wins the ball. And it falls to Rashford. And Rashford tries to go down the outside of Richards. He puts the burners on here, Rashford. He holds the play up. Goes around the outside again. Tries to keep going. But Richards does well to get a touch. And he forces a corner down that left-hand side. 48 minutes played. Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United 1. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Corner here on the 49th minute for Manchester United. They're a goal up already. Can they double their lead at Selhurst Park? Eriksen steps over to take the corner here. Down that left-hand side. Eriksen. Right foot into the box. Headed away, but it falls to Bruno. Bruno, right foot, lays it into Anthony. Left foot shot over the pot. And he claims it comes off the player. But it goes out for a goal kick. 49th minute played. Let's have a look. Did it come off Hughes? Can't see it from that one. Crystal Palace from the goal kick. Heels the ball down the line into the Matete. It falls to Elise. Elise battling out against Christian Eriksen. Manages to clear the pass away to Klein down the right side. Bringing it into the Manchester United half. Holds the ball up here. Goes backwards to Matete. Matete 1-1 against Casemiro. Goes back to Doucouré. Doucouré into Hughes on the centre circle. Doucouré, Hughes now bringing the ball forward here. into Edward. Matete, sorry, tries to find Edward, but Casemiro's doing well to track back and forces a corner down the left-hand side for Crystal Palace. 15 minutes played here. 50 minutes here. Crystal Palace have a corner with Elise down his left-hand side. Can he give a better... Can he get a better distribution than he did from the free kick just a couple of moments ago? Ball pointing towards the back post. Headed on by Richards. Headed away by Weghorst. Richards will try... Sorry, Gay will try to bring the ball under control. Klein with the ball back into the box. Matete jumps up for it. But David De Gea gathers it in his hands here. And Manchester United restart the game here with David De Gea on this left-hand side. Shaw. Into Rashford. And Rashford goes backwards to Martinez. Eriksen. Back to Varane. Out wide here to Bruno Fernandes on the halfway line. Backwards to Varane here. Manchester United just need to slow this game down. Just to silence the crowd here for the first couple of moments of the second half. They lose the ball and Crystal Palace come away with it here with Elise. But Casemiro's there to win the ball back. Weghorst on the halfway line. Into Bruno on the right hand side. Bringing it into the Crystal Palace half. Wan-Bissaka back to Casemiro. First time into Eriksen on the centre circle, but it was a short pass. And Matete wins the ball back. And it's Decore now the ball on the right hand side. Bringing the ball forward into the Manchester United half. Klein to his right and he finds him. Klein 1-on-1 against Rashford into Zaha. Zaha being brought down by Luke Shaw. And he's going to get a free kick down the right hand side. Crystal Palace. 52nd minute here. Crystal Palace 0. Manchester United 1. Zaha 1-2 with Klein from the free kick. 1-on-1 against Luke Shaw. Couple of step overs. Lays it into Elise. Elise goes back to Decore. First time into Edward. But he can't get away from Martinez. And Anthony into Casemiro. And he sees a run over the top to Rashford. Can he get the header? Klein? No, he can't. Klein will clear it away. And they'll go out for a Manchester United throwing here on the left hand side. 52 minutes played. Crystal Palace and Manchester United 1. Looks like Eberechi Eze is going to be warming up here for Crystal Palace. Varane now from the throwing here on the left hand side. Clears the ball down the line into Weghorst. He tries to find Luke Shaw, but it's Decore who wins the header. Finds Hughes. Hughes into the middle towards Elise. Elise holds the ball up here and goes backwards to Gay. Gay into Richards. Down the right side. Richards back to Gay. Back to Richards. Klein tries to feed it down the line, but it comes off Marcus Rashford. Goes out for Crystal Palace throwing it here. Nathaniel Klein now to take the throwing here. Decore clears it down the line. Martinez wins the header. Elise gets there ahead of everyone. Mateta loses to Luke Shaw. Mateta manages to win it back here. Backwards to Elise. Richards. Back to Gay. And he goes all the way back to Guaita on the edge of his own box. Richards. Goes out wide to Klein. And Klein brings the ball forward into the Manchester United half. First time it's Elise. But it's a heavy pass. Manchester United can't get away with Martinez. It goes out wide to Zaha. Zaha 1-1 against Luke Shaw. Trying to bring it inside this time. Into Elise. Elise brings the ball under control. Bruno wins the ball back. And it falls to Wan-Bissaka. Claims for a free kick, but nothing bigger. Weghorst into Bruno. Bruno out wide here towards Anthony. Can he get the head of Hughes? Yes, he does. And he holds the ball up here. Tries to go around the inside this time. Lays it into the path of Eriksen. Out to that left-hand side towards Rashford. Intercepted by Klein. Eriksen can't win the ball. Zaha's there. He gets the header Shaw. And Shaw into Casemiro on the centre circle. Back to Martinez. Manchester United now have the ball here with Eriksen in the Crystal Palace half. Goes backwards to Martinez. Into Eriksen. And he goes out wide. And Elise has gone down here off the ball. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 1. We'll have a look to see what happened there. Did he run into someone? I have no idea. He's gone down holding his knee. Let's have a look to see. Elise's back up on his feet here. And it's gonna be a substitution here. Mateta coming off for Eberechi Eze. 55th minute here. Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United 1. So that means Zaha goes out wide. Oh, there's someone come on here to take a picture with Casemiro. Oh, and he's gonna get. They were so slow to react. What the hell was that all about? 56-minute played. Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United 1. And the referee just having a word with, sorry, Erik ten Hag there just having a word with Martinez for Manchester United. Varane on the centre circle, bringing the ball forward here, out to the right side towards Wan-Bissaka. First time into Bruno, returns it back to Wan-Bissaka, bringing the ball forward. He's got Van Veghorst in behind, tries to square it into Anthony, but Hughes is there, and Crystal Palace managed to clear it away. But Varane is there ahead of Edouard, and it falls to Martinez here on the left hand side. Casemiro, back to Varane. Bringing the ball forward here into the Crystal Palace half. Wout Weghorst takes it on the turn. Out wide here to Wan-Bissaka. Tries to feed the ball in behind. But Gay is there and he goes all the way back to Guaita. And he'll just clear it down the line. Casemiro jumps up ahead of Edouard. And he makes his way back to Varane here on this left-hand side. 57 minutes played. Crystal Palace then Manchester United 1. Varane. Out wide to Anthony. But it's cleared away. Varane again. Over the top, but there's no one there for Manchester United. Gay out wide here to Mitchell. Mitchell holds the ball up here. Into the middle there towards Elise, but into Eze, but it falls to Elise. Elise's pass is intercepted and it falls to Bruno, who goes out wide to Rashford down the left-hand side. Rashford being held up by Klein. He cuts him back on the drive foot, holds onto the ball on the edge of the box, tries to feed him behind to Shaw, making the run behind, but it's intercepted and it falls to Zaha. Zaha into Edouard. Edouard out wide there to Elise. Elise goes backwards to Klein. And Klein will just clear it down the line, but it goes out for a Crystal Palace throwing down that right side. Crystal Palace and Manchester United 158 minutes played. Klein, Decore, over the top towards Elise, back heel to Zaha, but Casemiro's there. Martinez wins the header. Goes out for another Crystal Palace throwing here on the right side. Edouard tries to spin away from Casemiro, but Casemiro wins the ball and he lays it into the path of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who brings the ball forward into the Crystal Palace half. Eze's tracking back. He goes into Anthony. Anthony into the path of Bruno. Tries to feed him behind to Wan-Bissaka, but Mitchell's there tracking back. Eze on the ball. Goes backwards to Gay. Out wide to Hughes. First time into Eze. Crystal Palace do well to get away from Manchester United. And it's Elise now on the centre circle. Out wide to Zaha. Zaha one against Luke Shaw. Stretching his legs here, Wilfried Zaha gets himself into the box, but it comes off Luke Shaw, puts it across the middle, but Varane's there to clear it away. Will Hughes will try and keep it alive. Casemiro gets there. Eze with a shot. And he was off balance, and that went out. Nearly for a goal kick here. Manchester United restart the game here from the goal kick. David De Gea. Varane. Over the top, but it's headed away by Gay. Elise gets there ahead of Ericsson. Bruno gets there ahead of Decore, but the referee's going to pull it back here for a free kick for Manchester United on the halfway line. I think it was just a Follow through by Decore, but the referee's given a free kick for. Martinez on the centre circle for Manchester United. 60 minutes played. Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United 1. Shaw in behind towards Rashford, but Klein gets there ahead of it. Decore's pass to Zaha's intercepted by Luke Shaw, and he drives with the ball down the left hand side. He's got Veghorst in behind, but Klein wins the ball. Zaha now the ball intercepted by Casemiro high up the pitch, and it goes up for a Crystal Palace throwing down the right side. 30 minutes of the 90 to go plus added time. Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United 1. Courtesy of that man Bruno Fernandes. Nathaniel Klein now to take the throwing. Headed on by Edouard into Zaha. Edouard loses the ball to Eriksen, and Shaw into Casemiro, who takes on the turn here. Out to the left hand side towards Veghorst, but it's over here. And it goes out for a throwing here down the right side. Bruno Fernandes there just saying Casemiro no to calm down. He had time on the ball there, Casemiro. 61st minute here. Klein to take the throwing. Martinez can't get there. Casemiro does. It comes off Edouard's hands, but referee's having none of it. Goes out wide to Zaha. 1-on-1 against Martinez. Puts the ball into the box, but he's behind everyone. Casemiro wins it back with Martinez. Shaw getting out, brought down by Elise. Free kick. Manchester United down the left hand side. 62 minutes played. Crystal Palace and Manchester United 1. Possessions won this match 11 by Casemiro, 10 by Will Hughes, 9 for Marc Guéhi and Raphael Varane. Varane into Casemiro on the centre circle, goes out to the right side towards Wan-Bissaka, but it's cleared away by Mitchell, and it goes out for a Manchester United throwing. Wan-Bissaka now to take the throwing. 1-2 with Varane. Wan-Bissaka back to Varane, and he goes all the way back to Martinez here. Shaw down this left hand side. Shaw to Varane, and Varane switches it over the top towards Marcus Rashford, but it's headed away by Klein. He finds Decore on the centre circle in towards Zaha. Zaha holding the ball up here, but he loses it, and Casemiro's brought down on the centre circle. That's going to be a free kick here for Manchester United here on this left hand side. Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United 1 here on Cal Sports Football. 63rd minutes played. Crystal Palace to restart the game with Guaita. They're only a goal down. Can they get themselves back into this? Long ball over the top by the keeper. Luke Shaw wins the header. Bruno can't get the header of Hughes, but his header is into Casemiro. Casemiro gets the head of Edouard, and he goes backwards to Eriksen. Eriksen into Varane. Varane first time into Martinez down the left-hand side. Eriksen. Shaw. Into Rashford. Rashford can't get ahead, can't get away from Zaha, and Klein goes all the way back to Guaita here. Who's going to be charged down by Veghorst. And Casemiro wins the header. Anthony, first time into Bruno. Bruno on the centre circle, goes backwards to Martinez. And it's now Varane on this left-hand side, bringing it into the Crystal Palace half. Out wide here to Anthony. Anthony holds the ball up here, goes backwards to Varane. And Varane goes into Martinez. All the way back to the keeper. De Gea. Martinez on the edge of his own box here on this left-hand side with some space to bring the ball forward. Out wide here towards Aaron Wan-Bissaka on the halfway line. Wan-Bissaka drives with the ball here in the Crystal Palace half. Out wide to Bruno Fernandes. First time into Antony, but it's intercepted there by Mitchell. And he tries to feed it into Zaha, but it's intercepted there by Wan-Bissaka. And Zaha's complaining at him. Casemiro. Backwards to Varane on the halfway line. Eriksen back to Varane. And he goes all the way back to the keeper on this left-hand side. David De Gea to restart the game with Martinez. 65th minute play. 25 minutes of the 90 to go plus added time. Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United 1. David De Gea with a long ball over the top there towards Wout Weghorst. Richards wins the header and it falls to Eberechi Eze. Out wide there towards Elise. Backwards to Richards. First time into Eze. Eze out wide to Richards. Richards into Klein. Klein plays it backwards, but it's intercepted by Eriksen. And Eriksen goes first time into Weghorst, but it's intercepted by Hughes. And Hughes brings the ball forward into the Manchester United half over the top towards Edouard. But Varane is there, and Edouard goes down far too easy. Referee's having none of it. Martinez into Casemiro. Casemiro takes on the turn. Bring the ball forward out into Bruno Fernandes on the centre circle. Leaves it to Antony. Bruno makes a run out wide and he finds him. Bruno 1-on-1 against Gay. Holds the ball up here down the right side. Tries the back heel, but Mitchell's there. And he's cleared away, but Wan-Bissaka wins the header and keeps it alive here for Manchester United with Antony. Antony squares it into the path of Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka can't get away from Doucouré. He gets away from Hughes and finds Casemiro. Casemiro here, brought down by Gay. And he tries to feed it into Edouard first time, but Varane is there. And goes all the way back to the keeper, David De Gea. The Crystal Palace fans getting a bit unnerved here. Getting a bit restless here. Eriksen on the ball. Holds on to it here. Back to Martinez. Back to Eriksen on the left-hand side. Back to Martinez, who gets away from Edouard, bringing the ball forward here. Gets himself into the Crystal Palace half. Gets away from Elise. Out to the left-hand side towards Luke Shaw. Shaw backwards to Eriksen. Eriksen holds on to it here. 1-on-1 against Elise. Martinez back to Eriksen. Can he get the head of Doucouré? He can't. Doucouré will clear it into the path of Varane here. Bruno on the centre circle. Wan-Bissaka. Bringing the ball forward here. Into Martinez. Martinez on the halfway line. Bringing the ball forward into the Crystal Palace half. Rashford tries to play it out wide, but it's intercepted there by Elise. He gets away from Eriksen, but he can't get away from Rashford. And it's now Manchester United on the ball here. Eriksen. Game's got a bit of a friendly nature to it now. Martinez. Out to the left-hand side towards Luke Shaw. Into Rashford on the touchline. Comes off the Crystal Palace player. Goes out for a Manchester United throwing on the halfway line. Looks like Manchester United are going to be making a double substitution here. Scott McTominay and Alejandro Garnacho going to be coming on here. Is it going to be Casemiro? Let's have a look to see who takes off. 27. That's Wout Weghorst. So Alejandro Garnacho comes on. Wout Weghorst. Rashford goes through the middle. Weghorst played his part in the 68 minutes. He played well. He did had a few link-up plays. So Garnacho and Weghorst come off for Antony and Weghorst come off for Garnacho and McTominay. So it looks like Bruno goes further up the field and McTominay will try and hold the line with Casemiro. But he can't keep the ball under control. Elise will clear it. Eze jump it up against Christian Eriksen, who wins the header. Showing to Martinez, and Martinez goes backwards to Varane. Varane all the way back to David De Gea, being charged down by Edouard. But it goes into Martinez. Garnacho. Shaw. In behind to Christian Eriksen on the left-hand side, who gets away from Doucouré. Bringing the ball forward here. Out to the right side towards Bruno Fernandes. Bruno into Scott McTominay, but it's cleared away by Gay. Zaha gets the head of Wan-Bissaka, but he's brought down. There's going to be a free kick here for Crystal Palace down the Shine side. Are Manchester United going to be making a substitution here? Sorry, Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace making a double substitution here. Jeffrey Schlupp coming on and Andre Ayew. So Decore and Edouard coming off. Is it Edouard? Or is it Elise? 70th minute. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 1. Edouard and Decore off for Schlupp and Ayew. Casemiro wins the header. Martinez clears it down the line. Richards heads it into Schlupp, but if intercepted there by Ericsson. 1-2 with Rashford. Out to the left side towards Garnacho. He can't keep it in play. And it goes out for a throwing down that right side. Crystal Palace to restart the game here. Klein. Shaw with the header. Ericsson into Bruno. Bruno heads it on, but it comes off Gay. He returns it back to Bruno. Bruno into Scott McTominay. McTominay's brought down in the box here. Nothing given. Nothing given. Bruno Fernandes. Scott McTominay is brought down in the box here. Claims for a penalty. Scott McTominay with his hands spreading as far as he can. He's having a look at this. VAR. Bruno puts the ball in there. Scott McTominay drives with it. He doesn't get the ball, Richards. The young lad doesn't get the ball. The debut player for Crystal Palace doesn't get the ball. Scott McTominay nicks it past him. Wouldn't be surprised if the penalty is given. They're still having a look at it. He doesn't touch the ball. You can clearly see that. Oh no, the referee's not giving anything. Wow. Guaita on the 6-yard box. Gay out wide to Mitchell down the Shine side. Into Zaha. Zaha takes on the turn. And he goes out wide towards Elise. Elise 1-on-1 against Shaw on the centre circle. Over the top towards Eze down the left-hand side. Being held up by Casemiro. Claims for a handball. Nothing given. Eze now. 1-on-1 against Casemiro. Into Zaha. Zaha being held up by Scott McTominay. Lays it into the path of Schlupp. Schlupp out wide to Klein. Klein has Elise down the right side. The referee's going to pull it back here. Referee's going to pull it back here. McTominay and Zaha going to have a word with the ref. Has the free kick been given? I think the free kick has been given. Scott McTominay just got a bit physical there against Zaha. There's no need for that. Zaha tried with his up. Zaha tried so hard there. Bless him. 74th minute here. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 1, and Crystal Palace have a free kick down this left-hand side. Eze and Hughes steps over it here. Can they equalise here in the 74th minute and give Selhurst Park something to celebrate? There's not really much to talk about for Crystal Palace in this game. Eze, Hughes. Looks like Hughes is going to leave it to Eze. Right foot, back post. Richards is there, but it's headed away by Casemiro. Nathaniel Klein will just hoof it back into the box. Casemiro wins the header again. Hughes heads it back into the box. Wan-Bissaka heads it out, and it falls to Eze down the left-hand side. Being held up by Bruno Fernandes. Cuts it back, lays it into, goes central, floats it out wide there towards Elise brings the ball under control. 1-on-1 against Shaw. Goes on the outside. Shaw's there with a block. And it goes out for a corner down the right side. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 1. Elise now to take the corner down that right side. Whips the ball into the box. Gay's there. He wins the header. And is punched away by De Gea. Casemiro will clear it into the path of Garnacho. And it comes off the Crystal Palace man, and it goes out for a Manchester United throw. And David De Gea forced in to make a second save here to deny Crystal Palace. 75th minute, 15 minutes of the 90 to go plus added time. Crystal Palace and Manchester United 1. Rashford can't keep it alive. Crystal Palace win it back with Eze. Out wide to Elise. Returns it back to Eze. Eze down the right side. 1-1 against Casemiro. Cuts in on his left foot. Puts the ball in there. Headed away by Martinez. And it'll come out to Hughes on the centre circle. Turns into the path of Zaha, but it's intercepted there by Wan-Bissaka. It falls to Schlupp. Schlupp on the edge of the box out wide to Elise. 1-1 against Shaw. Left foot, right foot. Cuts it back. Schlupp, Elise. Backwards to Klein. Elise, back to Klein, down the right side. He's got space to put the ball into the box. Ayu's there, but he can't get a touch on it. And Bruno Fernandes will win the ball back here for Manchester United. Scott McTominay there brought down by Will Hughes, and that's going to be a free kick for Crystal Palace. Sorry, Manchester United on the left-hand side, and Hughes will get a yellow card for that foul. Just seeing how close Ayu was to that header. He was quite close, Ayu. He just couldn't get a connection on it. 77th minute here. Crystal Palace and Manchester United 1. Cleared away by Gay. Into Eze. Casemiro's there. And a free kick given. Crystal Palace's way here on the Shine side. Mitchell now to restart the game. Leaves it to Gay. On the right-hand side. Long ball over the top towards Ayu. Headed away by Martinez. Ericsson brings the ball under control, but he's brought down. Free kick Manchester United here. Ericsson now in the centre circle. Wan-Bissaka takes it on the turn, bringing the ball forward here. Out wide here towards Bruno. Bruno back to Wan-Bissaka. Cuts in on his left foot. Tries to feed him behind, but it's intercepted by Gay. Bruno plays a 1-2 with Wan-Bissaka. Down the Shine side, but he holds the ball up here. Backwards to Casemiro, but it comes off Eberechi Eze, and Casemiro goes backwards to De Gea on the left-hand side. De Gea. Out wide here to Wan-Bissaka. First time into Varane. Varane takes it in his stride. Out wide to Bruno Fernandes on the touchline. Over the top towards Scott McTominay, but it's cleared away. Wan-Bissaka gets there ahead of Zaha, but he only finds Eze. Eze gets away from Bruno down the left-hand side. 1-on-1 against Casemiro, but Casemiro does well. And Bruno finds Wan-Bissaka over the top towards Scott McTominay, but he's brought down. Referee says nothing, and it falls to Gay. Here we go with Richards down the centre circle. Out to the left-hand side towards Gay. In the Crystal Palace half, brings it into Hughes. Backwards to Gay on the halfway line. Out wide to Richards. Richards on the centre circle. 78th minute played here on Cal Sports Football. Just over 10 minutes of the 90 to go plus added time. Crystal Palace and Manchester United 1. Crystal Palace feed the ball forward, but it's intercepted there by Luke Shaw. And he brings the ball forward down the left-hand side into Rashford. Rashford can't get there. It falls to Richards. Schlupp now with the ball on the centre circle. Driving into the Manchester United half. Being held up by Casemiro and goes back to Hughes. Hughes on the halfway line. Loses the ball to Scott McTominay, and Bruno finds Casemiro. Casemiro returns it back to Bruno. Back to Casemiro. And it's Wan-Bissaka into Varane. Jordan Ayew comes over to press. Aaron Wan-Bissaka into Martinez down the left-hand side. Martinez on the edge of his own box goes backwards to De Gea. Ayew goes over to cover, but he goes into Wan-Bissaka down the left-hand side. De Gea into Martinez in the box on the left-hand side for Manchester United. Approaching the 80th minute, Crystal Palace 0. Manchester United 1, courtesy of a goal by Bruno Fernandes. Casemiro out wide here to Bruno, but it's intercepted there by Mitchell, and he finds Zaha. Zaha's 1-on-1 against Casemiro, and he brings him down, and that's going to be a yellow card for Casemiro, and that's going to be That is the one that makes him miss the match against Arsenal. 80th minute here. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 1. Casemiro there just lunges at Zaha. What is the need for that? Lucky he just got a yellow. Misses the next game against Arsenal, Casemiro. Huge. Huge, that is. 81st minute here. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 1. Eze to take the free kick here on the 81st minute. And it's into the hands of De Gea. What is Casemiro doing? Why has he lost his head there? He played brilliantly for 80 minutes and then he goes and loses his head. And Manchester United have a mountain to climb against Arsenal with Casemiro not in this team. Luke Shaw into Garnacho on the halfway line. Garnacho turns and he switches it out wide here to Wan-Bissaka, who leaves it to Bruno. Bruno into Scott McTominay, who finds himself in the box here down the right side. Puts the ball in back post, but it's over hit. And it goes out for a goal. Sorry, a throwing down that right side for Crystal Palace. 82 minutes played. Looks like Fred's going to be coming on here. 82 minutes here. Casemiro. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 1. Fred leaves it to McTominay. McTominay goes backwards to Casemiro into the path of Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka into Rashford, but it's intercepted there by Schlupp. Eze back to Ayew, but it's intercepted by Martinez and it falls to Luke Shaw on that left-hand side. Shaw into Fred on the halfway line. Backwards to Varane on the centre circle. Into Martinez. Backwards to Varane on the left-hand side. Back to Martinez. He's got Shaw to his left, Fred through the middle, but he goes backwards to David De Gea with 7 minutes to play. Crystal Palace and Manchester United 1. Again, Martinez has the ball here. Into Luke Shaw down the touchline. Luke Shaw taking his stride here. He holds the ball up here. In the Crystal Palace half, goes backwards to Fred on the halfway line. Fred switches it out to the right side towards Bruno, but it's intercepted by Tyreek Mitchell. And he clears it away. Maybe Mitchell had more time than he thought. Final substitution here for Crystal Palace. Milivojevic coming on here. No, it's not Milivojevic. Oh, no, it is Milivojevic coming on for Hughes. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 1. Scott McTominay. The referee's waiting, telling him to restart the throwing. 86 minute played. 6 minutes of the 90 to go plus added time. Bruno. Wan-Bissaka back to Bruno on this right side. Whips the ball into the box. Maguire gathers in his hands. And he'll try and restart the counter here with Elise down the right side. Elise being held up by Fred and Shaw. He cuts it back on the halfway line. Cuts it back on his right foot. Looking for some movement ahead of him, but Shaw's there to intercept. And it goes out for a throwing down the right side for Crystal Palace. Schlupp from the throwing. Backwards to Milivojevic on the centre circle. And he lays it into the path of Gay. Out to this left-hand side to Mitchell. Mitchell, 1-on-1 against Wan-Bissaka. Backwards to Gay. Zaha takes it on the turn. Out to the right side towards Elise. Elise, 1-on-1 against Shaw. Garnacho tracking back. Whipped into the box there, but Casemiro's there to intercept. Elise wins the ball back, but he can't get away from Fred, and Fred wins the ball, and he brings Bruno into play. But Tyreek Mitchell is there. And it falls to Gay here on the Shine side. Out to the center side towards Zaha. 1-on-1 against Wan-Bissaka. Goes on the outside this time. Takes a shot from distance, but it's overhit. And they'll go out for a goal kick on the center side with 5 minutes to go. 85th minute here on Catch Sports Football. Tyreek Mitchell's gone down here, holding onto his foot. Manchester United restart here. De Gea clears the ball down the line. Oh shit, it's happening again. Shaw into Fred. Fred goes backwards to Varane on the left-hand side. Varane on the edge of his own box goes back to De Gea on the 86th minute. Over the top towards Scott McTominay. Gay wins the header. Falls to Zaha. Zaha down the left-hand side goes backwards to Mitchell. Eze. Back to Mitchell. Into Milivojevic, who goes backwards to Gay. And it falls to Richards. Richards on the Shine side. Intercepted there by Garnacho down the left-hand side, bringing the ball forward. Bruno's on his right. He lays it into Rashford on the edge of the box. Rashford cuts in on his left foot. Goes around the outside of the defender. Holds onto the ball in the box here. But Schlupp manages to win it back. Rashford wins it back here down the left-hand side. He holds the ball up here. Looking for someone to pass to, but it's intercepted there. But Casemiro wins the ball. But it goes out for a Crystal Palace throwing down the right side. Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 0 here on Catch Sports Football. Klein to take the throwing on the Shine side. Short to Milivojevic, clears the ball down the line into Ayew, but Varane is there. Goes out for another Crystal Palace throwing here. 87th minute on Catch Sports Football. 2.5 to go plus added time. Shaw with the header. Garnacho can't get there. Falls out wide to Elise, goes out for a United throw-in. Crystal Palace still, Manchester United 1. Shaw to take the throwing here on the left-hand side. Shaw into Garnacho, back to Fred. Fred into Martinez, Varane. Out to the Shine side towards Wan-Bissaka. Zaha comes over to cover. First time into Bruno Fernandes, but it's intercepted there by Tyreek Mitchell. Driving the ball into the Manchester United half. Goes square into Zaha. Zaha tries to go around the outside of Casemiro, but it's intercepted. As Scott McTominay finds Bruno Fernandes on the halfway line. Sees a run off the ball by Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford brings the ball under control. Holds on to it on the edge of the box here. Can't get around Richards. And Gay comes away with the ball here. Wide to Elise, intercepted high to pitch by Shaw. Shaw has Garnacho to his left. 1-on-1 against the defender. Goes down the outside into Shaw. Shaw into Bruno, but it's intercepted. Bruno manages to win the ball back. Can Scott McTominay keep it alive? Yes, he does. And it's Casemiro now on the ball. Wide here towards Wan-Bissaka. Gets himself into the box across the middle, but Guaita's there. And he gathers it in his hands, and maybe Aaron Wan-Bissaka had more time than he thought with 1 minute to go. Guaita clears the ball down the line into the path of Ayew. Ayew holds the ball up here. But Fred wins the ball back, and Martinez has it. Varane on the left-hand side on the 89th minute. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 1. Goes back to De Gea. De Gea will just clear it down the line. High up into the air. Richards heads it on. Schlupp battling against Fred. Fred wins the header. Elise gets ahead of Casemiro. Schlupp comes away with the ball. He's got Ayew to his right and he drives with it. But he's brought down there by Fred. Is that going to be a yellow card for Fred? No, it's not. Flipping hell. Manchester United need to be careful. They might not have any centre midfielders in the game against Arsenal. Approaching the 90th minute, and Crystal Palace have a throwing here down that right hand side. It's more from a crossing position. Maybe Elise can go for goal. Let's have a look. Is he going to go for goal or is he going to for a cross? Is he going for goal or is he going for a cross? Let's find out. Casemiro, Fred and Garnacho in the wall. 4 minutes of added time here on Card Sports Football. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 1. Crystal Palace. Elise with a shot! And it's Elise with a left-footed shot from the free kick. Forget the cross. De Gea's made 2 saves, but he couldn't make the third. And Elise with an absolute pinpoint free kick and gets Crystal Palace an equaliser here on Card Sports Football. Oh, does it come off Casemiro's head? Oh, no, it doesn't. Manchester United have conceded late here against Crystal Palace, ladies and gentlemen. From an absolute beauty of a free kick. Varane, out wide to Wan-Bissaka on the halfway line, over the top there towards Scott McTominay. One-on-one against Gay. Scott McTominay can't get the ball. It's cleared away by Mitchell. High up into the air. Eze against Varane. Varane wins the header. Scott McTominay now the ball into Bruno. Bruno out to the left-hand side towards Luke Shaw in the centre circle. Bacchus to Martinez. 91st minute. Can Manchester United get the winner here? Shaw now with the ball on that left-hand side. Driving the ball. Elise is tracking back across to Rashford. Rashford on the edge of the box. Into Garnacho. Garnacho holds the ball up here. Can't clear it away. Shaw's there. And it comes off Elise and Fred will bring the ball under control. Martinez heads into the path of Wan-Bissaka on the centre circle. Gets the head of Eze. Clears it down the line. Mitchell's there. Scott McTominay out wide to Bruno. Bruno holds the ball up here. 1-on-1 against Mitchell. Lays it into Casemiro. Casemiro cuts it in. But it comes off the Crystal Palace player and it goes off for a corner here. Down the right side for Manchester United. Crystal Palace 1, Manchester United 1, ladies and gentlemen. Bruno Fernandes to take the corner. Manchester United conceded late for the equaliser. Are Crystal Palace going to concede late in the second half? Bruno to take the corner. Whipped in there. Oh, and it goes over everyone. Rashford will keep it in play down the left-hand side. Goes backwards to Garnacho on the edge of the box. Right foot shot. Oh, and it's saved by Guaita. It's saved by Guaita. Oh, Casemiro. What? Fred out to the left-hand side towards Rashford. Returns it back to Fred here. 93rd minute. Across the middle. So Bruno's there. But he can't get the shot off. It's cleared away. It falls to Zaha. Zaha now. Holds onto the ball here. Can't get away from Varane. But he manages to scramble away with the ball here. It's 3-on-3 here. Eze loses the ball to Shaw. And Manchester United will counter here with Fred on the centre circle. Out to the left-hand side towards Garnacho. Garnacho holds the ball up here. 1-on-1 against Klein. He lays it into Fred, but Fred loses the ball to Eze and Crystal Palace come away with the ball. Zaha's free down his left-hand side. He's in behind Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He takes it in his stride, but Wan-Bissaka does brilliantly. And De Gea will not come away with the ball here on his left-hand side. 1-1 here on Card Sports Football. What a finale to this game, ladies and gentlemen. Varane on the ball. Bringing the ball forward into Bruno, but it's cleared away by Gay. And it falls to Martinez. Martinez heads into the path of Fred. Fred brings the ball under control. Clears it away, but it falls to Schlupp. Is there a last chance here for Crystal Palace? Who goes out wide to Zaha. Zaha holds the ball up here. 1-on-1 against the defender. He's got Elise there on the right, but he can't get there. Shaw will clear it into the path of Garnacho. And it goes out for a Manchester United throwing on the left-hand side. And it's finished full time here. 1-1, ladies and gentlemen. Manchester United 1, Crystal Palace 1 at Selhurst Park. And what a game it was. See you next time. Peace.